Hi, I'm David Sinclair and I'm the Director of ILC UK. ILC UK is the specialist think tank on longevity and its impact on society. We've got 16 ILCs across the world, including one in India. What we want to do with this project is ensure that ageing well is at the heart of public policy across the G20. Really important that G20 policymakers understand the importance of ageing and ageing well. We want to gather evidence about India, but also about the whole of the G20, about what's happening and what needs to happen to support ageing well across the whole world. As part of this project, what we want to do is organise a really high-profile event next year alongside the G20 in India. We know that ministers from across the world are going to be coming to India, and it's a really good opportunity to get in front of them and their teams to talk about why ageing well is really important. So what we're going to do is we're going to organise a really high-level debate here in the UK, looking at the extent to which India is ageing well, and we'll bring together policymakers, experts in India, experts in the UK, experts in the aging world, and get them to come together, and as a result of that, pull together a piece of policy work that will look at what the agenda for the G20 meeting in India should be next year. Then what we're going to do is pull together this global Wellbeing Index, which really will help us understand which countries are doing ageing well.
Every fifth person in India is currently aged 50 and over. And actually by 2035, that's going to be every fourth person. So while we still have an image of India often being, a very young country, and we know this is changing, it's changing really fast. So in terms of its economy, in terms of its health services and everything, there's going to be a massive impact on this sort of fast aging in India. It's going to have a massive economic impact. So already every third rupee is currently earned by someone aged 50 and over, and this is massively going to increase. The way that consumer spending is going will be mainly really directed by what older people want to spend their money on. The way the health service functions and getting to grips with the really big rise of NCDs in India is going to be really important as the country plans forward. We know that that India will soon be hosting the G20, and we think this has to be a really big part of the agenda, not just on how India itself will respond to ageing, but what the sort of cross G20 plan is on responding to this global challenge. We have a track record of engaging at the G20 level. So in 2019, we held a side event to the G20 health ministers in Japan, where we got 5 ministerial delegations together to really agree on the way forward. In this case, looking at a more preventative approach to health, which is going to be vital in the context of an ageing society. We want to use our convening power to bring all of these international governments together to think about how we can move from international commitments to focus on healthy ageing and more preventative approaches to health to real action at a national level, particularly as we come out of the pandemic.
India's presidency of the G20 is an exciting opportunity for us to really understand and delve deep into the policy considerations of the government in terms of how it can best respond to its aging population. India is quite a unique country. It's considered quite a young country. However, in the next, by 2050, we're actually going to see its older population increase to almost 20% of the total population. So 1 in 5 will be over the age of 60. And what comes with this is a number of aging concerns. One is how well equipped the healthcare system is to respond to more adults needing to use the healthcare system. For instance, it's very little in terms of support for older adults, those who specialize in the needs of older adults. So how can India's healthcare system better support or invest in services to support older adults? There's also issues in terms of inequality, particularly financial inequality, and the impact that has on people's health as well is of utmost concern. There's also a question around caring. So who's going to be caring for older adults? In India, a lot of this rests on family members, and this will likely have a significant strain on the wider families of older adults and their ability to also contribute to the economy. So lots of really interesting things and huge demographic change that we're going to see in the next 20 years means that we're actually at a really good point in terms of understanding the biggest issues that India is facing and actually looking at ways in which we can respond to it properly.
Here at ILC, we've spent the last 2 years setting ourselves up as leaders in the global prevention debate. We have influenced the UN's Joint Decade on Healthy Ageing, the WHO Immunisation Agenda, and we've convinced G20 Ministers in Japan to have a joint approach to prevention. So we're looking to take forward an ambitious and exciting agenda over the next 3 years with what we're calling the Global Health, Wellbeing and Prevention Index. And that will really form the part of how we want to continue to sit at the heart of the prevention debate and track progress and good practice around how we can deliver prevention, but how we come up with cost-effective ways. We want to use the index to track progress and good practice and come up with tangible ways about how governments and international organisations can make real changes to limit and prevent how poor health can limit the contributions of older populations to society. So for example, in the case of India, we really want to use this as a way of identifying tangible things that the government can do to ensure that healthy life expectancy keeps up with growing and ageing populations. And that's why we're really excited about this project with Hallmark, to really think about how we can set ourselves up as leaders in this debate and come up with tangible ways that we can maximise the impact.